Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video, and welcome to the Unranked to Diamond summary that I tend to do after every single Unranked to Diamond. And this one's a bit different. I've done a bit more research on this one, comparing this one to past years of the series. So how well did we do? How much diversity did we have? But overall, just to kind of give my thoughts before we look at the account and stuff, I'm pretty happy. Like, it's been a pretty quick one, I'd say. Like, I don't think normally I'm finished in June. Normally we're kind of doing Unranked Diamond a bit later in the season. I will say, obviously, this is the first year that I think I've ever started on Unranked Diamond at the year's beginning. But yeah, no, overall, I'm pretty happy. My performance, yeah, I'm okay with it. Again, one thing is I'm never going to really be a crazy carry nearing the end of this series. Because I'm commentating, like my concentration levels just aren't quite there. And I will say, the earlier episode that you guys would have seen, the last episode, it was a bit anticlimactic. It was a snowball that I wasn't involved in. There's not much you can do about that. Sometimes your team just wins without you. You could be the best player in the world. I'm not saying I am, but you could be the best player in the world, but your team just does amazing, and you're like, okay, you guys won. Like, it just happens. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty fine with it. Again, another account to Diamond, thus proving once again you don't need to be a crazy player to get diamond. You don't need to play like crazy assassins. You can play normal, you can be normal, and you can even be like me and have 50% concentration basically and still get diamond. So this once again, for me at least, proves that yellow hell doesn't really exist. In every single year we get diamond, we don't get stuck like a lot of people claim. It's not the system holding me back. If you're just diamond level, you'll just get to diamond. No duo queue games, pure solo. And yeah, so just to do some comparison, I've got the notepad over here, which I'll bring up on this screen. So this is, I will actually put, this was season 8. So there we go. This is the differences between the 3 seasons that we've played in the last few years. So season 6 was my longest ever with 223 games in total. We played 92 different champions. We had a 56% overall win rate. Last year was my quickest ever recorded on Ranked to Diamond. We played 109 games. We played less champions and we had only 1% higher win rate than this year's. And then this year's 163 games, 82 champions, and 58% win rate. So what do I make of this? And again, I knew some of this data before I started on Ranked to Diamond, is I think this year has been the perfect mix. Is that I think this year was too long. Over 200 games I think is a bit too long. And honestly, I think this is a little bit too quick. And obviously, I've done an Unranked to Diamond myself in 50 games, myself of a different Smurf that wasn't recorded. Obviously, that's not for a YouTube series, but I think for an educational YouTube series, this was a little bit too quick, with actually not a lot of champion diversity, only 65. So I think in between these two, I think it's been a great mix. We still maintained a 58% win rate overall, as you can see here. 58% win rate. So again, I'm really happy with the stats of Unranked to Diamond this year. It's a good amount of champions, it's a good amount of games, and a good win rate. I would have liked if we kept it over the 60%, which we had for a long time, but when you get into like Platinum, and I don't know, Platinum 2 and thereabouts, it gets a little bit tougher because that's when you are in the Diamond bracket. But yeah, overall, pretty damn happy. So what we're going to do now is kind of look through our champions, what was effective, and why do I think it was effective? And, what could we look at and say, oh, damn, I didn't expect to do as bad. Why did that go bad? And that's just a general idea. So it's just to give you guys ideas and summary and kind of go, oh, I was thinking about picking up that champion. It went well for Huzzy on Ranked to Diamond. And again, just to make people clear, so many people think, oh, you've got to play the Yasuos, the Rivens and stuff to climb. Do you see a Yasuo or a Riven like in my top champs? No, it doesn't exist for me. You don't have to. You can climb with anything you want. You've just got to be good, practically. But yeah, let's get into it. So, Championes. So just to make it clear as well, where does that leave the account? And again, I am probably going to continue playing on this account, I will say. The League and Chill series, which we'll be doing on Huzz Lightyear, I most likely will now play it on this account instead, and just see how high rating we can get this account over the last half of the season. And who knows, if I really want to try hard on my main account, then I won't play my main account on stream anymore. Again, I'm not announcing that I'm not doing that, but if I really want to try and push for Master, I'll play on this account on stream, and I'll leave my main account to my own personal recording time to try hard more. So that is just something that may happen. But that leaves this account in the top 40,000. So there's 40,000 people that are in Diamond, because obviously this account is now Diamond 50 LP, but that is the top 1.72% of the game. So that, there you go. That is Diamond. On EU West, which is the largest server that Riot controls, it's double the size of North America. You know, of all the servers that Riot controls, not Tencent, is the biggest server. It's the top 1.7%. So again, if you did like just basic math, EU West is double the size of North America. If this account was Diamond 5 in North America, it would be in the top 20,000 roughly accounts. Which again is not bad, you know, that's pretty good going. So let's get to it though. So again, just to show you guys, we have 82 champions in total that we played. You can see a lot of red there, which we will go over, a lot of blue. But let's go through actually the bottom first and work our way up to the champions that we know we did good on. So let's just look through this list and just see where were bad performances. So you're looking at KD, you're looking at like farming, so not really there. This one is noted. So 3 kills, 8 deaths, 270 farm. So not terrible, but what probably happened? Well, I admit I'm not very good as it. So that's probably what happened. You know, again, this series, I play champions that I don't normally play. I play random champions, and I don't play Azir. I've never really put a lot of time into him. There are mechanics that I know of, but I don't really know how to pull off. If I put more time into him, sure. So that is probably the bare bones of what happened that game, is just I'm not very good at that champion. And that's okay. And again, this is where you, right now, going through your own profile, can look and kind of go, why is Azir there for me? I don't play Azir. Like, that's the point. This is a Smurf account of mine. It's even worse if you're on your main account and you're seeing this type of thing. Twitch, I remember this was the one, I think, Twitch jungle game that we did, and it backfired like crazy, and it put me off cheesing for the rest of the series, basically. Because cheesing, when you lose a cheese, and especially you're trying to record a video, it's the most embarrassing thing you can imagine, because you suck. Like, that's it. Your cheese did not work, and you suck. It's pretty much that simple, and I was like, nope, not cheesing again, never ever again. Okay, Corky, so Zed. We only did one Zed game, which I will say is a bit surprising. We might have to play a bit of Zed. And again, we are going to continue on this account and just have some fun. So I might continue and do a Zed game soon. Kale, I don't remember how that game went, I'm going to be honest. Got a Heimerdinger game there. I do vaguely. That was a donated pick, if my memory serves correct. Anything else worth noting, though? Only one game of Orianna. It went okay, you know, negative KD, but 18 assists. That's a lot of assists. Good farm, nearly 300. So that is something that I potentially should go into. So I'd imagine it was just like people got fed and I couldn't keep up, I'd imagine. Rengar. Again, one bad game of Rengar really, I guess, shouldn't have put me off playing him more, because Rengar is a very hit or miss champion. You're either going to get fed or you're going to feed. So obviously this game, it just didn't really work out. But yeah, that's just the type of champ Rengar is. Did a Shaco game. I think from memory I got fed in the early game and then something bad happened. And then one Evelyn game. So for all of our losses, again, the thing that I look at is, did I really feed badly on any of these champions? Did I go like 0-5 or 0-10 on any of them? Not really. Like, I didn't have like a crazy feeding performance. Like my worst performances in these one losses were like 3-7, 3-8. But, you know, still getting involved with farms. So it's like, they're not terrible performances, so that's okay. Now we're going into the one champs, so the one-hit wonders. So one Draven win. I don't even know how he won that. I don't remember. 3-9, 9-2, 6-0. I'm looking for like I'm either looking for performances that were like outstanding. So you're like, why didn't I play that more? And again, there are a few. I was like, here, Garen with a 6.5 KD. 5.25 Jarvan, 5.67 Kha'Zix, 13-1 Olaf, and Olaf is a fun champ, so it's like, why didn't I play those more? And again, I wasn't really doing this type of thing while doing the Unranked to Diamond series, and this is what's different. This is what, and if you want to make your personal climb easier, do this as you're climbing, because I didn't know my Olaf, I did that well in that one game. If I did, I'm like, oh, let's play another Olaf game. I'm going Olaf top. I didn't know. I can't remember everything. But if you go through this, you're like, oh yeah, my Olaf's really good. I'm going to play another Olaf game. That's how you kind of also can create a champion pool. And that's how you kind of rediscover champs you're really good at. Other picks. So Viger, we had one good game. Vayne, not bad. So really bad there game by Kalista, but we did end up winning 1-9-11. So a lot of assists, but I must have just kept getting killed over and over again. Nasus, good game. Syndra, good game. That was recently. So yeah, were there any performances that I fed? Like, yeah, the Calista game, but we won it. And the Draven game, we won 5. Apart from that, overall, just solid, medium performances or just good performances. So that's pretty good. And again, this type of information, this would let me know, hey, do another Veigar game, do another Olaf game, do another Kha'Zix game. Because I didn't look this stuff up myself while doing Unranked to Diamond, I didn't know. I purposely didn't look this stuff up because I want champion diversity. But, like, if you're doing your climb and you're trying to get, like, Diamond for your first time, don't play 82 champions. Play, like, 20, 25 at the most in the whole season, practically. So yeah, like, that's a bit different. Okay, so now we get on to our first champion that we had 2 losses, 0 wins, was Jax. Pretty surprising. Jax is a pretty strong champion. So either I had bad performances on him or I just couldn't make an impact. Again, he's a late game champion, so maybe that was the case. But again, that's a champion that I may want to revisit. He's a good champion. He's strong. Be honest, I'll probably play a bit of him on my main account because he's that good for climbing there. But there's that. And now we get into champions that we've got 1 win, 1 loss. So any bad performances on average? Not really, but negative KD on Rumble. Obviously more assists there, but I don't like when my kills are less than my deaths. I really don't like that. Same with Jhin, but a lot of assists on Jhin. Holy moly. Yeah, overall not bad. Farm-wise, low farm on Vladimir. Low farm on Jhin for an AD carry and low farm on Rumble. Now we get into 2 wins. So Yasuo, again, on both of our Yasuo performances, we did really well from memory. I actually have been thinking, and I know this is going to sound very hypocritical, I want to climb on my main account again. I've always said to you guys, Yasuo is not a good champion for climbing, because the vast majority of people, 1, aren't good on him, and 2, they don't put enough time into him to be good. I've always done relatively well with the champion. I actually have been tempted to pick him up on my main account, which I know to a lot of people have been like, it's going to be like, what? Blasphemy. But no, I always do well with him. It's actually, whenever I've played that champion, it's actually very rare I do bad. Because where do the bad Yasuos come in? Usually it's the Yasuo as a champion is a good champion. Usually bad Yasuos come in when they don't think. When they go in 1v5 for no reason. And I know myself, I'm not going to do that. Like, I have the discipline to kind of, this is going to sound bad, but play smart and play Yasuo. So maybe that would work really well. So I've been thinking about it. Good performances on Volibear, not bad performances on Zoe, good on Talon. So again, this is where you can kind of go, oh damn, so my Yasuo, I should be playing more of him. My Talon, I should be playing more of him. My Varus, I should be playing more of him. My Vel'Koz, I should be playing more. This is how you do it. This is how you kind of create a champion pool and kind of get, I'm good with those champions. So yeah. All right, 2 champions that we just lost 3 times, Poppy and Brand. I can pretty much almost guarantee why the Poppy losses happened. Poppy is not a carry. She's somebody that just holds control in top lane. In order to climb, that's not enough. So if I was playing Poppy top, and I was just holding my own, maybe going to kill every now and then, doing okay, well, I'm never going to carry the game. But what happens if the enemy bot lane gets fed? I can do nothing in lane phase. So I guarantee that's probably what happened with me playing Poppy, is I just didn't have a big enough impact in top lane because I'm playing Poppy. She's good, I'd say, in a team environment, and maybe if you're duo queue, that you have more control over the map as a duo. Just not very good in solo. She's fun to play, though. Then Brand, I can't really say why we lost on Brand that much. I do remember one game we got really fed, and then everybody else also fed on my team. So yeah, like, again, don't really know. Brand, obviously, as a champion, is very immobile, so we could have just got punished even if we were fed. Could have get punished, got CC'd, get killed all the time. You never know. All right, so 2 champs. We went 1 win, 2 losses. Was Lee Sin and Ezreal. Both okay KDs and performances, to be honest. 6.7, 5.39. That's good KD. So obviously, again, just sometimes you get those losses. And this is the type of thing, again, when you're looking at your own profile, don't let these, like, if you have very similar, like, stats in this type of, like, configuration, you've lost more than you win, but you're doing okay, you're getting good 200 farm and above, don't let the win rate put you off. When it's that amount of games, when it's only 3 games, yeah, don't let that put you off. Karthus, good performances, so that's not surprising. Then 2 champions we won 3 games on was Camille and Jace. I actually was thinking about playing another Jace game. The promo to Diamond, we won it on the 4th game. If we didn't win the 4th game, it was the 5th game. I was actually probably going to play Jace for the 5th game. Because I've said to you guys, and you guys have said in the comments, it's kind of become a meme on the channel. You know, Huzzy plays Jace, he feeds in the early game, and then somehow gets fed and does the most damage. Like, it's like the weirdest thing. And again, that's kind of like the Yasuo that I usually do well on Yasuo. It's the same with Jace. Is that I can do terrible in lane phase on Jace. Like, well, I don't always. I do well on him. But there are times that I do terrible on him on lane phase, and then I just end up getting incredibly fed later in the game. It's like, what the hell? It's like, I know, weird. But that's just sometimes the way that it goes. All right, so biggest surprise I'd probably say of all the champions that we played in the series is this one, Xerath. Xerath is arguably my best champion alongside Swain at the moment. Mechanically, you know, my main account, if you compare my main account to this account, it's vastly different. And yeah, like partially, and I will say this is the analogy that I've used before that hopefully some people get. It's American football analogy, okay? So you have the best quarterback in the world on your team, for example, but you have one of the worst or not very good wide receivers. There is practically nothing that quarterback can do to make that wide receiver good. He throws the ball, and every single time that wide receiver just drops it. It makes the quarterback look bad. Even though he's throwing good throws and he's doing really well, it's making him look bad because the guy he's throwing it to is just constantly dropping the ball. That is what I'd say of a champion like Xerath is very apparent the lower rating you go. Is you can be good on a champion like Xerath, but if your team doesn't cover what you're doing, it doesn't matter. It's just not very good for climbing in general. The higher rating you go, the better. Like if you're in Diamond 5, that's fine. If you're in Platinum, maybe good. Gold and below, I would probably leave Xerath alone. Even, and I will say, even if you're a good Xerath, I just don't think he's very good in that rating. Why? One, he is a ramping up champion. So a lot of the time you don't win the 1v1, you ramp up. You get fed as the game goes on, your damage increases, which obviously a lot of champions are, but especially Xerath. But more importantly, you are very vulnerable, even in the late game, of when you're throwing your Q out as Xerath, you're slowed. When you're Wing, there's actually a very small, like, you know, you're doing the animation, you can't do anything during that animation. Your ultimate, you are stationary. So you could be an amazing Xerath, but if your team lets them get to you, and you're like, okay, I protect you, my team will protect me when I'm killing that person, and if they don't, there's not a lot you can do. So I'd probably say Xerath is a champ that it's surprising that we did bad, but really when you look into the type of champion, it's not. Unless I just got so fed in lane phase, which something Xerath doesn't do, that would be the only way to make that work. Shen, again, not surprising, not having a good performance. Again, I would imagine most of these Shen games were earlier in the season, so like in gold and stuff. Why? Shen is a great champion. I really like him. Is he good for solo queue? Not really. Why? Communication. You want to ult as Shen, but your team backs out when you're ulting in. Well, you just wasted your ultimate, and now the enemy top laner's got pressure on you. That's the problem with Shen. Communication makes that champion, so if you're duo queue, fine. If you're in flex queue with your whole friend group, fine. Tournaments, okay. Solo queue, not so much. He's not very good. He doesn't really win top lane because he's more of a tank, so like things are supposed to beat him because he has to ult away to help. And if you ult away and nothing comes of it, you just get behind and behind and behind in top lane. So again, he's a champion that I can't recommend playing. Lux, pretty good. Again, we were really enjoying Lux when she had the, 15-second ultimate, when she had the ultimate hat with the Presence of Mind combination. Obviously, that's gone now, but it was really, really fun. Couple Annie games in there just to show that, the basic mid laner is perfectly fine to pick up. Kai'Sa was picking her up, really fun champ, doing okay on her. There's the Anivia, which people enjoyed. Again, this is where the stats are like, oh, damn, we should be playing more Anivia. Same with Diana, great performance there as an assassin. If you're like, okay, I want to pick up a new assassin, you look at your champion history. Oh, I'll pick up Diana. My stats on her are already good. It's, not bad. 2 champions, we get 4 wins, 0 losses, Ziggs and Galio. Ziggs. He is the champion I'd recommend instead of Xerath. If someone right now in the comment section was typing, okay, you don't recommend Xerath even though you love him, what would I recommend if you like a similar playstyle? Ziggs. Ziggs is the champion to play if you like a ranged, poking, pressure champion. It's Ziggs for solo queue. Why? 1, you're more mobile than Xerath. 2, you've actually got more tower pressure than Xerath. And 3, you actually have a bit better of an early game. So why am I, like, right now you're thinking, so why don't you just play Xerath? Why didn't you just play Ziggs instead of Xerath on your main account? The overall damage pressure between a Ziggs and a Xerath, Xerath does win overall. Like, if you have, like, 2 perfect players of these champions, like, they're robots. You got 2 robots playing these champions at 100%, as perfect as you can get, the Xerath will do more damage. That's why. But Ziggs for solo queue, I believe, is better. If you win your lane, which you can, like, that's the difference between Ziggs and Xerath. You can win your lane easier on Ziggs. Well, you have tower pressure because you got W satchel. For late game sieging with the Lichbane passive satchel, you can nearly one-shot towers. You're more mobile, that you can W yourself away. You can put mines in between you and the enemy team. Like, it's everything. He's got teamfight, he's got burst. Ziggs is the champion that I'd recommend if you enjoy Xerath. Or you just enjoy Ziggs. Just play Ziggs. I've made videos saying, like, you should play Ziggs. Because you should. You really should. He's great. Next is Galio. So Galio was the pick that I tended to go with if my team needed a little bit more protection. You know, he's very much not a carry at all. But it works. We won all the games we played on him because it was just a smart pick. And that's sometimes the best way to win solo queue games is you're in the champion select, your last pick, you're like, okay, either I could pick this thing and try to get fed, or I could pick, like, Galio, protect my team, and enable them more, and we win the game. That's what I did with Galio this year, is just play him to enable my team, and it worked. We won every single game we played on him, so it obviously did quite well. Aurelia, not bad. Again, a positive win rate, very close KD. Again, she is an all-in champion, so I guess that should be kind of, you know, that's predictable. But I was picking her up. So I'm still relatively new to Aurelia. She's always banned, so you never really get her. So I'm not surprised that the stats were that high in deaths. You know, normally, like, if you look at all my deaths, they tend to be in the 4s or the 5s usually, maybe a little bit lower, 2.5. So having a 6 is quite high for me personally. You can see a 6 up here as well. So, like, that's pretty high, so that is something that I could definitely take note of and try to improve. So Darius, once again, a champion that surprised probably some people not having great performances on. So 2 wins, 4 deaths, 4 losses, sorry. Yeah, not great. Definitely want better performance on him. You know, why? Well, there's a number of things. Darius is a very all-in champion. He's a very hit or miss. You're either going to get fed and probably win your team the game, or you're probably not going to do a whole lot. Like, kind of like a Singed. Sometimes you're just running around like a headless chicken, and that's probably what happened a lot of the games we played Darius, unfortunately. Like the game yesterday that we played Darius, the game we lost in the promo, I got owned. I even took Ghost in that game, and I still couldn't get to people. Like, there was a chance to win that game, but it was just too little. So yeah, just sometimes Darius is very hit or miss. Is he okay in the meta right now? He's okay, but he's not perfect. You know, what I'd say with Darius, if they pick a champion that just Darius is very good into, like, you know, you can get to people on him, then yeah, pick him up. But I would never blind pick Darius from now on, is what I'd say. Next is Renekton. So we did fairly well on Renekton. You know, 6 games, 50% win rate, good KD, good farm. So Renekton's just a solid pick at the moment. You know, again, more people are picking him in the mid lane to counter an Aurelia. So that is just something that I would also look into. And then we come into the final 2 champions of the series. Obviously, there is the MVP at the top, but then we go Fizz. Pretty good stats overall. Obviously, high deaths for me, but pretty good stats, over 11.4 kills. That might be, on average, the highest kills that we get for the amount of games that we played. And yeah, just not bad. You know, good win rate, a little bit, maybe one more win would have been nicer instead of a loss. But overall, solid performance, good assassin, very good champion for solo queue if you believe that you know what you're doing, is what I'd say. And then finally, our MVP, Swain. So obviously, I play Swain in a burst style. A lot of people in every single conversation, why don't you build Roa? I just don't like it on him. I build Ludens, I go for burst. People do not expect the burst. And it works for me. I always do well on Swain, usually. So good KD, a little bit high deaths. But again, I play him the all-in way, so that's probably not surprising. Not bad farm, probably could be a bit higher, but very good win rate. We lost 1 game on Swain, and that's it. So honestly, of champion performance, of going through everything, I'm pretty damn happy. Again, there weren't many times that you can go through this list and go, damn, Huz just fed like crazy. It didn't really happen. It happened a few times, but in, what, the 100 and how many games, sorry? In 163 total games, we maybe had, I don't know, 5 games that we just fed like crazy. That's it, 5 in 163. honestly, that's not bad. So I'm pretty happy with this year's Unranked Diamond. Again, as for the time of the games, or for the amount of time of the games, I think it's the good mix. Like, where would I say the perfect amount is? I'd probably say 150. 150 games is where I'd say a good Unranked Diamond is. And again, this is me doing an Unranked Diamond, doing commentaries, which you guys don't have to do. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I've done an Unranked Diamond myself in 50 games total. Not just wins, 50 games. It's very doable. And again, this is where we're going to have to have a conversation, a big conversation, for either later in the season or next year of what do I do next. So you guys can even start saying that in the comments, because if next season goes by what Riot is expecting, it's going to be role ranks. So it's going to have to be like Unranked to Diamond Mid or Unranked to Diamond Top. And I already have ideas of, like, I'm going to color code the thumbnail so you know what type of role it is depending on the thumbnail and stuff. But like, we're going to have to talk about that and see what you guys think. Because Unranked to Diamond next season potentially could be a whole season endeavor. If it's like, right, this year's Unranked to Diamond, we're getting every role to Diamond. That could be it. It's going to be pretty damn long, but that's going to be something. So you guys will have to let me know what you want. But again, overall, pretty happy. I recommend you guys to go through your own profiles, look at your own champions, and kind of get like a kind of sense of what you should be playing, what you shouldn't be playing. Again, one thing I can definitely pick up for my own play, so I probably need to buy a few more control wards every now and then. Like, there are games I just don't buy one, but there's a game here I bought 3. So yeah, that's not bad. Again, in my last, again, we don't have all the rank data because I have breaks with Unranked to Diamond, but in our last, 7 games of Unranked Diamond, we actually don't do that well with KD. We actually have more deaths than kills. And I will say, I haven't been playing very well recently, or even on my main account. So that might just be why. But yeah, that is going to be it, though, for this year's Unranked Diamond. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Leave your suggestions down below. Let me know what your favorite parts were. And let me know what you want in the future. What do you want different? What do you want better? That will also be quite handy. So I'll see you guys next time. See ya.